Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk about some of the perks of being a Disney cast member. Now, obviously there's a few that are a little bit more obvious and there's some that you might not know about. And as we're getting to that time of the year now where applications are going to be opening soon, it would be really good if you kind of had an idea of some of the really fun things you get to do when you're at Disney, because I think the last couple of weeks have been a bit neggy. So I think this would be a really good opportunity just to talk about some of the really good things you get from being a Disney College Programme applicant. So I'm going to start with the obvious. You get to go to Disney World for free. And I don't mean to travel there for free, you do have to pay for that, but you get to go into the theme parks for free whenever you want. So you get your cast member ID, and I assume they've changed to the sort of the magic band format now, like the cards that you just kind of hold up. But when I was at a college program, we didn't have those. So you used to put your card in the turnstile, it would pop out the side, you do your fingerprint, and it would let you in the park. And it just acted like a normal sort of ticket, but it didn't really have a limit to the amount of days that you could go or the things you could do. You could go to the water parks, you could go to Disney Quest, you could go to any of the parks. And there were a few blackout days, which was like, I think it was like 4th of July, which is today. Happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. And I think Christmas Day and maybe New Year's Eve was another one. So they were like the blackout days that you couldn't go to, but every other day you could pretty much go whenever you liked. I mean, I used to go to Magic Kingdom for an ice cream, or if I was bored after work, I used to pop to Epcot just to wander around World Showcase, just as something to do. So that was really fun. Now, you do get to share this kind of perk with family and friends. Now, I don't know if this has changed, and this could be different for permanent staff, but for college kids when I went, you were able to get 3 family or friends in for 5 days. And I know you get more if you're permanent staff. For us, you had 5 days worth of tickets for 3 people. I know a few of my friends had family come and visit, so they used them then. I actually just had a couple of friends come from home for the day, so we all went and park hopped for the day in all the different parks, because you do get a park hop ticket. And what kind of happens is you put in your blue main gate pass, which is literally a blue pass. You put it in the machine for each person that's coming through, and then it'll print out a ticket for them, and they can use those tickets in the park for the rest of the day. You have to be there with them though. Like, that's the one thing, they can't take your pass with you. You have to show your ID with it. So it was good if you were going to have a day off spending at the parks with your friends. But I did have some housemates that had family that were visiting, and they just had to get up early, go meet them in the park, let them in, and then they could go off and to work or whatever they were going to do for the rest of the day. So that's really cool. And that's like, I think, one of the main perks, and it's one everyone knows about. But there are quite a few other ones that you might not have known about. So the next one, which I kind of mentioned a little bit in dealing with the cast member video, is your discount that you get in restaurants and pretty much everywhere in Disney. So in all the restaurants, I mean, most of them, there are a couple that you don't, you get between 20 and 40% discount, which is awesome. So I use that quite a lot. I mean, I think if I had the evening off, I went out for a meal. So I got to try loads of really cool places in Disney and in Orlando as well, because with a few of these other things, because you work in Florida, you get a local employee discount. So a lot of the restaurants, as long as you showed your cast member ID, would give you a discount. The shuttle, the iRide, I think cost me 25 cents to go on because of having an employee in the area sort of card, which was awesome. You get, I think it was between 40 and 50% off for hotel rooms. I think that was for yourself, and then it was a little bit less if you were booking for family and friends. You got 20% off merchandise, which is also really awesome. I use that quite a bit. These weren't the only places you could get discount. You were able to get tickets for SeaWorld and Universal Studios a lot cheaper, because you are now a Florida resident. When you move to Florida, you get a social security number, you have an address, so you can register for things like Florida residence discount. And I think I got silly money off. I remember, I think for all Universal and SeaWorld, I got an annual pass because it was cheaper than getting a day ticket if you were a Florida resident. It was nothing. So I was like, this is amazing. So I could go whenever I wanted for the whole year I was there. Well, no, I wasn't there for a year, but for the whole year. I think I actually went back to Florida later on that year, so I was able to use them again then. But it just worked out really, really well. So that was amazing. And you don't just get discount on merchandise that gets exposed to at Disney. There is some other things that you can get. Now there's something called Company D, which is special merchandise for cast members. And And I'm like, still regret to this day not getting Disney College Program alumni hoodie, because it was really cool. And at the time I was like, to be fair, at the time I don't think I knew what an alumni was. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I think I put it as like, what did I even say? Is that like you're an annual cast? You know, I know now obviously, but at the time I was like, what the heck is that? Because I never really used the term alumni because I'm stupid. Anyway, moving on. So you got special pins, you got special merchandise, you got like notebooks, and this was all products that were made for Disney cast members. So it wouldn't be anything that guests were able to get hold of unless they knew a cast member that could go there. It's a shop specifically for cast members. I don't believe you could go in there if you were a friend or family of the cast member. I think it was just for cast members. And these were located in a couple of different places. The one I went to was actually in Epcot. So it was, if you go around the back of Test Track, if I remember correctly, there was a shop in their like staff area that did Company D, and I actually got a pin, which I really need to find. I actually went home last weekend and I was looking for all my like cast member stuff, but I didn't have a huge amount of time because I think it's in the attic, so I will go and find that. But I have a cast member pin, and it's the name badge of like the Walt Disney World, and it has a little Tinkerbell on it over the top, and on the name badge it says Walt Disney World cast member, and it's like a pin. And I keep trying to explain it to people because I've never seen it online or anything. I don't know if it was like a limited edition one or whatever, but I got it because I was like, this is really cool, I got to be a Disney cast member. Looking back, I wish I bought so much more, but at the time I don't think I really understood how like awesome and unique these items were. So that was really annoying. So if anyone is a current Disney cast member out there and wants to hook me up with some Company D merchandise, holla, because I really want it. I want to relive my youth. And there's also a shop, again, I think I've previously mentioned this, called Cast Connections. And in Cast Connections, you can get product that's damaged or discontinued, or I think they even did like pasta and tea and coffee and things like that. You could buy like really cheap bulk prices. I wasn't too keen on like the broken merchandise and things like that, but I got a where it's in here somewhere. I literally like this. Our flat isn't very big, but it's really good at like losing things in it. So trying to find stuff is like near enough impossible. I got a giant like fleece throw, which has the Magic Kingdom castle in it, and it's blue and it says Walt Disney World. I think I got it for like $15, and they're like, you know, the throws, they're like $50 in the shops, and it didn't have a date or anything on it. I just think they weren't selling it anymore, or it might have just been for cast members. I honestly can't remember, but I remember being like, this is a really good deal, I'm gonna buy this. So I did, and that's like another cool thing I got, a little bit more reduced priced merchandise that I haven't really seen anywhere else. So was really happy with that. Definitely a big perk for me because I love shopping and eating. Hotels I didn't really use so much because I had somewhere to live, but you know, if you have family and friends coming down, it was great. I know a few people would rent out one of the rooms for a night and just stay with their family, like in Animal Kingdom Lodge or Grand Floridian, because obviously the discount made it a lot more affordable. Another really cool thing you got to do, and again I've mentioned this previously, Mickey's Retreat. This is an area by Chatham Square and Patterson residents, and this is where any Disney cast member can go. It had like a lake that you could go and do like water sports on, I believe. It had a volleyball court, a tennis court, it had places to hang out, it had barbecues that you could go and do, it had like parties there quite regularly. It was just a really nice place to hang out that wasn't Disney, if that makes sense. Like it was still owned by Disney, but it was just a little bit more, if you imagine like an American summer camp, that's kind of how it felt, like that vibe. If you've seen Camp Rock, you know where, yeah, I love Camp Rock, but it's fine. But they're like by the water and it's like a lake and they're kind of hanging out and the Jonas Brothers are playing some kind of tune. You know, if you've seen it, that's kind of what it was like. It was really cool. It was like a proper American kind of summer camp. Or if you've seen Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, it's kind of like that as well. It was really nice and cool, and it was a really cool place to hang out. I only went there a couple times because I'm not like a big outdoorsy person, but it was really fun, and it's cool that you get to go there for free. Okay, another perk, and this is, I didn't feel it as a perk at the time. It was cool, but now looking at what people do to do this, it definitely is a perk. And that is being able to go backstage in the theme parks. Now I know that the Keys to Kingdom tour and all the Backstage Magic tours are really popular because people are generally really interested on how Disney works and the mechanics of everything. And I think I definitely took for granted when I was there that I could pop out the back of the theme park and see how everything worked and go into the maintenance bays of some of the attractions and see how all the mechanisms works and see the control rooms and things like that. And it's really cool. And not many people get to do it. And I think I definitely took it for granted when I was there. I obviously got to see a lot more. In fact, I think I could literally still map out the whole back of Animal Kingdom from every area because I was quite good. I just used to wander around and see that. And obviously I've done the Utilidors. I've been backstage in Epcot for the shop I was telling you about. And also, this is a fun little fact, in Epcot, when you get dropped off there on the bus, it drops you off at the cast member entrance. And if you're going there for the day, you can't really get into the park that way. So you have to get on another bus, and there is a bus that goes and does the loop of World Showcase. And it stops at each country, like a bus stop, and lets all the casts off that are going to go to that country. And the only way I knew how to get into, like, I think I asked the driver, I was like, I need to get into the park. He was like, stay on to Magic Kingdom and then get off there. I was like, okay. So I went around all the countries, and it's really cool to see them out the back because, like, you see the level that the Eiffel Tower stood on, and you see some areas at the back of the countries and the big show buildings from the back, which is really cool. And you see all the firework props like to the side before they come out on the boats and things like that. And then you get off at Magic Kingdom. You get off at United Kingdom, and then you just go through this door and you end up at the what is it called? The entrance between France and the UK, basically. You know, where you can come through that way from Yacht and Beach Club. You come out there and you can go into the park that way. So I never really went in and out the front of Epcot unless I was going to Magic Kingdom. And then Hollywood Studios, I saw a little bit of their backstage, mainly the back side by the entrance, like, and then down Sunset Boulevard. We went on that way. And that's kind of it for that park. But it's not as exciting and glamorous as you think it would be, unless you're going to the areas where guests do go, and they do kind of spruce that up a little bit, because obviously people are paying to see that. You want it to be a little bit nicer than just seeing people sitting in the lunchroom watching Jeopardy or emptying the rubbish. So yeah. Another perk that you have, and this is like one of my favourites, is getting a name badge. And I know people would pay to get this, but it's like one of my favourite souvenirs of the whole trip. I have the white Walt Disney World cast member name badge that says Sarah, High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire on it, because that's where I lived before moving to Southampton. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. I have a name badge from Disney World that's got my name on it and where I live. How cool is that? Like, so cool. I mean, I really wish I got one of the little gold pins to go on it, but I didn't stay there that long, or one of the things at the bottom that has different languages. But I'm not that multicultural. I can only speak English, maybe a little bit of French, but I wasn't allowed one for French because I honestly couldn't hold a conversation other than, my name's Sarah, I'm from England, and I have 2 brothers. But yeah, if someone needed to know that in French, I was like the person to go to for that. Asking directions, probably not so much. And a couple more perks that you got from being a college program kid was like all the cool events and stuff that Disney used to throw. They used to have something called grocery bingo, where you used to go to the Commons, play bingo, and if you won like a massive box of groceries, like bread, milk, like mac and cheese, all the stuff that you would live on when you have no money, because in Disney you never had money because you're always spending it in the parks on merchandise or going out for food. So like, to not have to do that and to have your own food for free was awesome. And they used to do pool pizza parties where you got free food and drink, and there'd be like DJs. They would host trips to Miami, which was really cool if you could be bothered to get up at like 4 a.m. to go to Miami and then come back in the same day. They did trips to Kennedy Space Center. Like, it was just trips that they hosted. They did like events with SeaWorld to do with like animal rehabilitation. You got to go to the beaches, and when I was there is when the BP oil spill happened, and SeaWorld were great at getting loads of cast members and everyone to go down to the Keys or wherever and get them to help with the animals and like cleaning them off and things with the oil. And that was a great thing that people got to do, lots of charity work with Disney, and you could just volunteer and they'd pick you up and they'd take you, and it was really cool. And if you wanted to do some more or add something to your CV or just have a really cool life experience, they were always really fun things to do on your days off. And the final perk that I would definitely say stood above the rest for me, and if you're looking at the college program, this is definitely probably the best perk. You get to live in Florida, Orlando, Florida, USA. Now, if you're anything like most of the people that watch our videos that I think you are, you're obsessed with Disney and you love Florida. It was great because I roughly knew that most days I'd wake up and it'd be about 30 to 40 degrees. Now I think I'm cold-blooded because that is like the perfect temperature for me. I love like extreme dry heat. Like it's just like, it just, yeah, I'm naturally really cold all the time. So it's like perfect for me. Sunshine every day, occasional showers, really awesome looking thunderstorms. I got all the American food, American TV, I got to go to Disney World, I got to go to the beach, like, I got to speak to people with really cool accents and imitate it, and they used to really get annoyed, and they used to make me quote Harry Potter, but that doesn't matter, it's all fun and games. I got to live in Disney World, like, and that's still one of the coolest things I can tell people. Oh, you know, what have you done in your life? I moved to Florida to work at Disney World. Psh, beat that. You can't, because it's awesome. So that was definitely the biggest perk, and it's like one of my greatest life achievements. Like when everyone's like, who's that girl? What's she known for? I worked at Disney World. Like everybody knows where Disney World is. Everyone knows how cool it is. You immediately become the cool kid. It's a nice feeling. So yeah, they're definitely mostly all the perks that I found. Like some of them, I mean, you'll probably find more. Like if you like going out, they have some really cool party buses that take you like to downtown Orlando or like House of Blues, and you can have like a crazy major sports bar club rager. But like I prefer to just, you know, order a Papa John's to the complex and enjoy how cheap Ben and Jerry's was, because it's like $1. It's like stupid. So my freezer always used to be filled with Ben and Jerry's and pineapple sorbet. Haven't found it in the UK. I remember getting like a bucket of pineapple. I'm going off on a tangent, but pineapple sorbet, if you're in Publix, get it. It's really good. But anyway, bringing it back. So they're kind of the perks, and that's kind of one of the things that I think would be really cool if you were looking to apply, to really think about, because I know I have been going on a lot about the not so fun things, but believe me, the fun things completely outweigh them. I'm obviously just sharing the stories that I have because they're interesting to me. So next week, what we're going to do next week? Well, next week, actually, I think I'm going to do a Q&A, because I've been getting quite a few questions on these videos regarding stuff I've talked about, or general questions that people have if they're applying, or just want to be nosy. That's fine. So I think I'm going to do a Q&A just so I can actually get through some of the questions you're asking and not the ones I'm just thinking up in my head. So if you do have any questions for me, please either leave them below or send them to us on Twitter or Instagram or whatever kind of social media handle you have for us. I kind of go through every message, so I will see. I've already started making a list of ones I want to answer. So don't worry if I haven't responded. I have seen it. I see everything. Not to be creepy, read everything. So I will find it, and it depends how many we get. I'm hoping it'll only be one episode, but it depends how many questions you have. I don't really know how many people watch this, so if you have questions or not, let me know, and we'll do that next week. I think that'd be really fun. I can actually feel like I'm being a bit more engaging, and we'll do that. And once again, thank you for following on my cast member series, and I will see you next week. Bye!